So we are sat outside St Edward's Church in Subbrook, and this is going to be the venue for our final day of our Subbrook Living Advent Calendar 2020. We've gathered 24 houses, or 23 households and the church, and we are all going to light up a window on each day of Advent to hopefully bring a bit of hope, a bit of joy and a bit of community togetherness. Felt this was the right place to end up. The windows outside here tell the story of Jesus basically. We just felt like this building, which is the most beautiful little church, has been here for hundreds and hundreds of years, and it has sort of shone a light in this community for Jesus, and we just felt like it was the right place for the community to gather right at the end of our project. We've planned this with Penny Green, so from the local parish church. So it's a joint sort of collaboration between Threshold and Penny Green, but I know there are lots of other people who live out in Subbrook who go to different churches, so there's a lot of people involved. The community have been so excited. I've had people emailing me pictures, they've planned it all already. This is what they're going to do. They are so excited, and it just feels really good. It feels like people want to come together. I think after the summer, the first lockdown, and we had a community response group which started to bring Subbrook to life, really started people talking to each other, and I think this is just a natural way to finish this year, which has been difficult for everybody, but actually one of the most beautiful things is it's brought Subbrook together as a community. I think we've always struggled because there's no real centre to Subbrook, and everyone's always moaned about that. It feels like it could just be seen as one big extended housing estate. So I know we've got a village hall, but I think the fact that there is a lack of defined centre and meeting point has made that a bit of a problem in the past. Although there is now a little village shop, and that has actually really helped bring the community together a little bit. And he was brilliant during lockdown because he participated in our support group, and we did sort of deliveries from his shop, so stuff is growing. So about, I don't know how long ago, 10 years or more ago, Pete challenged us one Sunday morning to put a pin in a map for a village that was outside of where you were living, a place to pray for, and Greg and I stuck a pin in Subbrook. At the time we were thinking about moving, but we did look out in Subbrook, didn't feel right at that time, so we moved to another house in Necklem, and then we were there for 10 years, just watching and waiting really, and seeing what God was going to do. At the time we bought our first house in Necklem, the house that we had lived in before this one. Mick Purvis had a little picture about us being able to look out of a window and see the cathedral, and at the time that wasn't the house that we ended up buying. But in 2015 we felt it was right, God was nudging us that we needed to look for a new home, and we went and visited our current home. Felt it was too big, both of us, hilariously, but then we stood and looked out of our bedroom window and we could see the cathedral. We've really prayed that our house is a place where people can gather, feel safe. It's a place of equipping. It's a place where people can come and find God. In Genesis it talks about Jacob digging a well that he ended up calling Rehoboth, which means open space. And we basically feel our remit is whatever we do, wherever we go, we keep creating the space for God to come, whether that's inviting people round for dinner, whether that's us as a community gathering together, having breakfast barbecues, whether it's us going out for walks, whether it's getting up in the morning and walking with a friend. Each time we're doing that, we are creating a space for God to come and inhabit, for God to do what he wants to do in that person's life, and for us to partner with him. This crazy community well, we didn't have a name for it, and we thought, well, we're not strictly purely geographical, because it's sort of made up of people who are sort of in relationship with one another. So we didn't quite know what to do. So one day we went, oh, it's Life Gym, but not as we know it, which was that immortal line from Star Trek, I believe. Not that I watch Star Trek, but you know. And that whole sense of, I think it was Spock who said it, it's life out there, Jim. What does it look like? And actually, going with Romans 12, which talks about taking your everyday, ordinary life, that's what it looks like. So it's Life Gym is going on adventure together as family. It's life, but not as we know it, but it's ordinary, it's good, it's in our day-to-day, and it's sort of bringing God into the space of our everyday ordinary. In the Bible, when we looked at Genesis, where Jacob found and dug for Rehoboth, which was this open space, he had to try several times, and he had to keep moving down the valley until he found the place where God wanted him to build. And from that, he built a community. And the first thing when they were building a community is they pitched their tents together, and they found the water source, and then they dug. And in a sense, the well, which is our monthly prayer gathering, is that very thing. We're digging the well, we're digging for the water, we're praying upwards to God, for God to come, to fill our communities, our homes with new life. We're praying inwards to support one another. We're praying outwards for our friends and our family. We're praying for God to come and do what he needs to do. And that's really the essence of why the well is called the well. It's about Rehoboth. It's about a community growth. It's about open space, and it's about God coming. It's life, but not as we know it.